Always sell a bit of Sam in every role. I mean, I don't know if I can say iconic about myself. I think I gotta say something like Iron Man 2. I got a call from Favreau about originally the first Iron Man, and then I never heard anything, so Downey got it, and that was it.
Tony, I love Tony Stark. Tony loves me. We're not competitors.
My partner was in the movie, Leslie Bibb, and so I had dinner with those guys before opening night, and they were nervous about it, and then of course it was a big hit. And then my friend Justin Theroux was gonna write the script. He knew Downey from Tropic Thunder, and I went over to his house, and I said, what's going on with that Iron Man 2? He said, I'm flying out tomorrow to go help Favreau write the script. And I go, well, let me be in it. I want to be in the movie. Write me a part as the bad guy. All right, let me talk to Favreau. They talked to Mickey Rourke, and they decided to split the villain into two villains.
There he is. There he is. What an absolute pleasure. Welcome.
Oh, goodness gracious. Can we get the handcuffs off my friend here?
It was an emergency situation, but literally we wrote a speech at lunch. Robert Downey's wife was there. She helped, and Favreau and Kevin and Jeremy was in my ear. It was fun. Same thing with all the guns with Don Cheadle.
This is the FN 2000 from Belgium. They do make something better than waffles. It's beautiful, but I can tell this isn't disco enough for you, so I'm gonna put it right here.
I memorized all the guns, and then they changed the guns on me on the day. You had to use an earwig eventually, which is kind of like a modern cue card. You know, I was just me messing around, James Brown kind of stuff. Favreau just said, go dance, and that was it.
Is there any chance of Justin Hammer being back for Armor Wars?
I mean, listen, man, I'm around. Let's do it. Three Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri.
I don't think it came across real good, the things you're saying. I just came across as stupid ass.
Ain't about time you got home to your mama, Dixon?
No, any time I go home to my mama, I told her I was gonna be out till 12, actually.
Dixon is a very complicated character who's been through a lot of stuff, and it's a kind of redemption story. It's a classic kind of anti-hero. I did some ride-alongs in LA with a cop, and then I went to Missouri. Martin didn't want a strong Ozark accent, so we found this cop, and he had the perfect amount of a twang. He read my lines, and instead of the county, he said the clank, and a couple of things like, get out of my ass, he said, to when I say to the deputy,
Get out of my ass. Mrs. Hayes, have a seat. What is it I can do for you today?
that came from this cop. I met with some burn victims, a skin graft doctor, and just kind of trying to get a sense of what that was like to be burned like that. And it was very in-depth. I mean, I had time. That's the luxury of having time to prep. You don't always have that.
Ladder's pretty steady as it is there, James.
Well, no, that's okay. I like holding ladders. Takes me out of myself.
We had Peter Dinklage, you know, he was hot off Game of Thrones. He's so famous, you know, he was there in this little town outside of Asheville. So they were real excited we were there. Vice.
Hey, all right. Let's slow down. Enough of that, guys.
Oh my God. We were on the Oscar campaign for Three Billboards while I was prepping the George Bush Vice extravaganza. And so I was listening to his audiobook, I was watching his interviews. It was just George W. Bush like nonstop. Well, I used a lot of ad libs from him doing the Jimmy Kimmel Show, and I would use a lot of his vernacular from that.
Major combat operations in Iraq have ended. In the Battle of Iraq, the United States and our allies have prevailed.
Because I was talking like this, this muscle got overworked. And then this muscle was twitching, and I didn't know what it was, so I was freaking out. And I was taking like magnesium to relax it and stuff like that. And as soon as the movie was over, the twitch went away.
You don't go blabbing about what cards you have. I missed my flush draw about a month ago. And everybody still seems to think I have pocket kings, except maybe fucking Haldeman.
Steve's the best, man. He's the best. And Christian's really great. He's a lot of fun. We would talk in the voices, but just kind of about normal things. Sometimes the supporting roles are flashy. That makes an impact, you know? And you don't get sick of them, too, you know, because they're not always there. The Green Mile.
What's it now, moving day? Y'all want to come on in here and dust a little? You can shine my knob for me while you're at it.
Well, that character, aside from being a despicable person, was also very funny. He had a lot of funny dialogue. So that was easy to do. And there was a Appalachian accent, and my acting coach told me to watch clogging, which is kind of a hillbilly tap dancing. If I watched Beetlejuice for that, I remember I watched things like Deliverance. Actually, one of the guys in Deliverance is in the Green Mile. I think he's the executioner.
Here comes the boss man.
You'll keep a civil tongue on my block.
I don't know if I actually spit, but he was ready to take it. He was cool with it. Yeah, we used egg whites for the drool, and then we had some chocolate paste that we had to squirt in a turkey baster in his face. And Oscar-winning makeup artist Lois Burwell had to paint zits on my buttocks and everywhere else, liver spots on my face, and devil's in the details. You know, the details really add up to a character. It creates a full-blown three-dimensional person, kind of a human pus ball. Stephen King did show up to set. I think he got in the electric chair for 2 seconds. He gave us his blessing, and he was very happy with it, I think. We were very faithful to the book. Argyle.
But by the time I've broken his wrist and his pistol falls into your lap, perhaps we will have built up little trust with one another.
And you'll be able to accept 2 key realities.
Reality 1, you are in grave danger. Reality
2, when I say it's time, it would really be beneficial for you to hold on to me as tight as you can.
I think I was lucky to get the role. He's kind of the average duckling becomes a swan. You know, he's kind of like Albert Brooks in broadcast news, has a little bit of Harrison Ford, Han Solo, Steve McQueen, a little Bill Murray, a little Jack Nicholson, you know, in Cuckoo's Nest. He's your typical kind of irreverent anti-hero, like a Han Solo kind of guy.
Here we go.
I love this book.
Doing action for Matthew Vaughn is a trip. It's stylized. It's very athletic. You have to be in shape. It's a workout. You're moving very fast, and you got to be precise. It's a lot like a dance. A lot of rubber knives, you know, and a lot of stunt guys taking really big hits. So it was a complicated number, for sure. Confessions of a Dangerous Mind.
I'm Chuck.
Chuck Barris.
Yeah.
Yeah, you wrote that Palisade song. I really like that song.
Well, thanks.
Yeah, it's real sentimental bullshit.
I met George Clooney on a movie called Welcome to Collinwood, and then he wanted me to do Chuck Barris, and it was based on a book that Chuck Barris wrote where he said he was a spy, in addition to being a TV producer and the host of a show. And so Charlie Kaufman took the book and wrote a script, an amazing script, and everybody wanted to play it. I think Johnny Depp was attached, and came down to me and Ben Stiller. We screen tested, then George gave me a camera once I got the part, and a video camera, told me to hang out with Chuck. So I hung out with Chuck Barris like night and day, just hung out with him, filmed him, talked with him, had him tape my lines, and sort of absorbed him like a sponge. I don't know, man. To this day, I don't know. Chuck said he killed these people and he was a spy, and I couldn't tell you.
Can you please tell me what a girl is like who has never been on a date?
Matt Damon was in the movie, and he helped me find somebody to learn like fight stuff, some of that Jason Bourne stuff, and he got me hooked up with this guy, which probably came in handy for Argyle, actually. But none of that stuff ended up in the movie.
And Brad Pitt.
That was a favor to George. People show up for George Clooney. They love George. Galaxy Quest.
Fans, right? Hey, Gwen.
Oh, hey, man, I want to thank you for that nice intro you gave us today.
Guy. Probably don't remember me, do you? It's the sunglasses, right? I was on the show in 82, episode 81. Got killed by a lava monster before the first commercial.
I took a lot from Bill Paxton and Aliens and Michael Keaton and Night Shift. Those were my 2 go-tos for that. There's always a little Bill Murray in there, and I was a little young for the role. They wanted an older guy, so we kind of made him look a little older. We got this mustache, and we slicked back his hair. It was a wild character, yeah. Even if it's a comedy, to me it's a drama, you know what I mean? You have to be really scared, so you're really freaking out. You have like 3 cups of coffee and have a panic attack on a spaceship, but it's real. It's not funny if it's not real. Farce has to be high stakes and real.
Crewman number Guy.
So many different styles. Daryl Mitchell and Tim Allen were comedians. Tony and I and Sigourney and Alan Rickman, of course, the late great Alan Rickman, were theater actors. We had so many people on that. Missy Pyle and Patty Breen. Oh, and the great Enrico. That whole way that the aliens talked.
We have modeled every aspect of our society from your example, and it has saved us.
You know, Enrico came up with that. It was just nonstop, and Dean Parisot was a great director. It was a really lucky thing, that film. If there was a sequel to Galaxy Quest, we would be on it. We talked about it, maybe like a limited series, yeah. Simon Pegg talked about helping out with it, actually. Charlie's Angels.
So what's so special about your software?
Oh, it's really quite amazing. We developed a program. You see, everyone's voice is unique. It has a unique signature.
The audition for that was a scene from Foul Play. You know this movie, Foul Play, with Chevy Chase, Goldie Hawn? So we didn't have a script, really. The script was sort of all over the place. It had 17 writers, and only one of them was a woman, and it was a movie about women. But then, you know, Mitch Glazer, Bill Murray's writer, showed up, and he helped me a lot. And then McGee and I said, let's make the guy like Richard Gere in American Gigolo. But first we need him to be kind of like harmless and kind of like Spike Jonze or Bill Gates. And so we came up with this soft and cuddly, you know, software engineer, and then we switched it and made him kind of dangerous and Ray Liotta, Richard Gere, and it was kind of, that was the prototype.
Knox Technologies voice identification software download confirmed.
And I don't think anybody saw it coming. Maybe some people did. Fosse Verdon. A lot of people don't know maybe about who Bob Fosse was. You know, Michael Jackson was a big fan of, he wanted Bob to direct Thriller, so you see a lot of Bob's moves and Michael's moves, you know. If it's something like George Bush or Bob Fosse or Chuck Barris, there's a little bit of an impersonation, especially George Bush because he's so famous. You know, it's like playing Elvis, but you don't want it to overwhelm the interpretation.
Did we fire him?
Give the man another shot.
Still learning.
Break the leg?
Or this?
Yeah, that's nice. Show me the reverse.
It was one of the hardest. I learned how to dance, and we had to lose the weight, you know, because he was also a speed addict, in addition to being what is almost like a pro athlete, and then always smoking cigarettes. You know, like I saw Bradley Cooper with all the cigarettes as Maestro. I mean, I know what that's like. It's just every scene. And it doesn't matter whether it's the fake one or the real one. It's every smoke in your face every day. So it's a lot.
Uh-huh. What do you say we dive right into the deep end? I don't want to waste time pussyfooting around with the script scenes. Let's bite the bullet. Start with the dailies from mine here. See what kind of trouble we're in.
It's such a long shoot, and it's that repetitive thing, and you have a real beard under a fake beard, and you're getting up at 5 in the morning, and you hit the gym, and then you're on a meal plan. You're working on the weekends, you're memorizing lines. Especially with something very long like that, you have to stay grounded and be patient. Otherwise, you can slowly go crazy. The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
This guy boring you? Why don't you talk to me instead?
There was a laissez-faire kind of quality to him. You know, he's like this easygoing guy who's the president of the universe. I wasn't the first choice for that. I think it was Will Ferrell, Jim Carrey, and then I got that part. I met originally for Fort Prefect. I watched a lot of things for that. I watched Jim Carrey in The Mask, Matthew McConaughey, Point Break, actually, Spicoli in Fast Times.
Arthur, this is Zaphod Beeblebrox, president of the galaxy. He's my cousin. He's a semi-half-brother.
He's a really charismatic guy, great storyteller. He has a special thing. He's just got a real authenticity about him. 7 Psychopaths.
Stop!
So he took out a
Stop!
cutthroat.
Stop.
What?
Yeah, what?
I don't think that's a very nice story.
I want to know what happens at the end.
Chris Walken is the greatest, one of the greatest actors. We're friends. We did a play together. We did the movie, both with Martin McDonagh, and then we might do another Martin McDonagh movie. You know, he's done all the great Shakespearean roles. And that's why he's so good in these, when he's got a monologue, like in Pulp Fiction or something. I mean, I grew up watching him, so I learned instinctively. Working with him once in the desert, I saw him do 5 different takes. And I felt like I was watching The Deer Hunter, The Dead Zone, you know. All of his work was flashing back to me as I was doing the scene with him.
What happened to you?
Oh, I got in a fight at my audition.
Who at this time?
The director guy?
He broke his nose. How are you ever gonna get a job, Billy, if you break the director guy's nose before you even got the part?
I didn't mean to break his nose. His nose was just in the middle of where I was punching.
Kathy Bates and Misery, I think I watched. Travis Bickle and Taxi Driver. That guy in The Grizzly Man, that documentary. A little lost, that guy, you know, and vulnerable.
What the hell did you do?
I set the car on fire.
The silly bear hat with the straps in Seven Psychopaths, we found that at a truck stop on the way to Joshua Tree, and Colin was gonna wear it, and they said, no, you wear it, and it's more right for you. Moon.
Woo! Tough guy. Listen to me. You look like a...
What?
Radioactive tampon.
I wasn't supposed to...
Look like a banana with a yeast infection.
Listen to me. I wasn't supposed to find you.
Nathan Parker, Alan Parker's son, wrote the original script, and then we kind of tweaked it. We put more humor in it in the beginning because it was very dark. He was having a long-distance relationship, and I was far away from my partner, my new girlfriend at the time. We bonded on that kind of isolation in the space station and what that feels like to be separated from your loved ones, and you know what they do in Interstellar and Robinson Crusoe and that kind of thing.
Should we play?
Yeah.
You get both clones in the same shot, in the same frame. You'd be looking at a tennis ball, and we would shoot, usually the dominant, the clone driving the scene first. We watched Dead Ringers with Jeremy Irons. A lot of it depended on sound, too, because on the day you can't see what's happening. Sound guy put it on my iPod, and I watched the previous take as I was getting hair and makeup for the other clone. So if the clone's coming towards me, and I have an earwig, and I hear the paddle drop, and then I know to retract if he's coming towards me. So it's very technical. It was nice to meet him. He came to Sundance, and Sting was a part of it, because Trudy Styler produced it and saved us and gave us money. There's a lot of little movies like that go into the ready. You work really hard, you know. There's a movie called The Winning Season I did with Rooney Mara and Emma Roberts, where I did a lot of research. Nobody saw it, really. And there's a movie called Snow Angels, really good movie. David Gordon Green directed. A lot of cool movies.